Oh, suit you, sir.
Suit you, sir.
Oh, suit you, sir.
Were you out with a lady last night, sir?
Oh, did she want it, sir?
Did she, sir?
Did she?
Did she want it, sir?
Oh, suit you, sir.
Suit you, sir.
Oh.
They often say, suit you, sir. Suit you, sir. I'm like, it's something to do with me.
That phrase, suits you, sir, it's now in the lexicon of the language. It's there. Everybody says it.
I like the two guys in the shop, you know. Suits you, sir.
I was walking down Oxford Street the other day. There was a shop called Suits You.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, sir. Oh. See, I could do that. Ooh. What's funny about that?
There was a bloke who worked at Hackney Council who did used to walk around like it was self-parody almost. You know, he did used to go, "Hello, sir. How are you today? All right. How are you? Radiant, sir. Were you out with a lady last night? Oh, did she want it, sir? Oh, suit you." So, you know, we
just stole
it and made him a tailor, you know, and put Mark Williams in to pop up.
It's normally me and Paul talking filth to anybody who'll have it. As we put the costume on, it's a sort of licence to be disgusting.
Oh, picture you now, sir, strolling through the park, your cream suit, fresh, crisp, flowing beautifully as you push your lady wife up against a tree and give her a jolly good seeing to. Suit you. What did you say then? Give her a jolly good seeing to, sir. Taking a piss?
Is there a problem, Kenneth?
Yeah, there is a problem.
Why, sir? Doesn't the lady want it, sir? Doesn't she want it, sir? Have you tried tying her up, sir?
Suit you.
Paul first come up with the Suit You characters for Harry, and I don't know why, but I don't think Harry sort of got it or liked it.
Oh, bloody suits you, sir, all the time. You know, I've got this character, suits you, sir, suits you. And Paul is relentless about these things, you see, when he gets it. Ooh, suits you, sir, all the bloody time, and I never found it funny.
When I first read that, I went, this is just Monty Python, you know, it's just the Croydon thing, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, Croydon. And then it went on to become the most successful character in the whole series. So it proves how much I know.
People ask me what I'm doing, what I do day to day, and I say, oh, I'm a tailor. I'm in Savile Row. And they say, oh, suits you, sir. And after a while, it can, you know, it can get on your nerves a little bit.
He was probably being quite sneaky, Paul, creating all these characters, and if Harry didn't like it, he thought, right, I'll put that on the back burner, we'll use that ourselves later. I'll make a few £1,000 out of that one myself, do you know what I mean?
Well, most of my friends, they think that I actually float around saying, oh, sir, suits you. That's fantastic, sir.
How many times you said, oh, on camera?
Well, I'm trying to say it as much as possible.
Get them all out,
This
Rich.
is my big opportunity.
Ever been to a cockfight, sir? Two proud cocks, peak condition, advancing, menacingly, erect, ready to do battle. Brutal, sir. Brutal, but strangely compelling. They never give up, sir. Suit you, sir, suit you.
And there were lots of characters like that they'd come up with. I go, no, because I was the boss and I was in charge. No. Paul, no. No. Charlie, no.
Charlie, could you do your standard answer about how we engendered the Fast Show?
Okay. We never intended to be Harry Enfield's writers full time. It was just a job we were doing at the time. And while we were working on Harry Enfield television programme, we came up with a number of characters who, for one reason or another, were not suitable for the show. Either they didn't feature Harry in a prominent part, or he didn't think they were funny.
Or they weren't funny.
We had a press preview for my second series, and Jeff Posner, who directed it, had cut together a 5-minute version of the first half-hour show.
And we sat there looking at it,
and we thought, that's a good way to do it.
This is funnier than the actual show.
On, catchphrase, off.
Yeah, we were just surprised at how well the characters worked in little bits, and you didn't need a lot of the setup.
But
So
really, I suppose we were on, catchphrase, joke, off.
Brilliant!
And thus was born the Fast Show.
The great... fucking Fast Show.
I thought, well, they can go and spread their wings. All right, they're little upstarts. You know, I invented them. I found you on a skip in Hackney, and you can go and do your show and no one will notice it. You'll come grovelling back. I thought, cap in hand, bent over like this. We must learn from you, Harry. Yeah, I thought. But then they hitched up with some talented people, and look what happened.
Paul White used to come and see me perform at various stand-up places, and he used to say, "We're going to do a show one day, loads of little sketches, very quick, but you'll be good in it." And I went, "All right." And then he came back 3 years later, or whatever it was, and the rest is history, as they say.
I think Paul and Charlie, I hope Paul and Charlie thought I was funny, and so they just asked me to write some stuff, and I did, and then it all sort of grew from there, really.
I like the idea of using how much more visually literate people were, and the whole idea of it being fast and just using the parts of sketches that were important rather than great preambles, you know.
I knew when I read it was just quality.
Caroline had worked with John and Simon a lot.
And someone who we've, you know, who I'd seen on the circuit as well, well, she's brilliant, you know.
I'm Sister Mary Immaculate, and a lot of people say to me, "What is heaven?" I say heaven is a place where, if on earth you've only got one leg, in heaven you will have two. If on earth you're ugly, in heaven you'll be beautiful. So it's great news for that girl there in the front.
When we were writing the first series, we were less sure of who was going to do what. There were a few bits that we obviously knew Paul was going to do because they were characters of his own. Others we were writing, and we didn't really know who would do them.
Andy the Fairman was Paul and Charlie's character, and I thought it was great. They said, "We want you to do this one," and it was the first bit of filming I ever did for the Fast Show ever.
Andy, this is Christine. She's just come to join us in accounts. It's her first day.
Hello, pleased to meet you.
Look, Christine, forget it. It's over.
People said it came out really well because I was so nervous it came across as, in the character. I was really sort of edgy, but I felt I was terrified.
Ted, I don't really know how to say this without hurting you, and I'm very flattered and all that, but basically I'm just not gay.
If you look at me on film, you'll see the young boy with cheekbones, huge head of hair, twinkle in his eye, and this jaded old fool you see now, 3 series down the line.
Paul and Charlie said, "Why don't you do someone who's like you?" And I said, "What do you mean like me?" And they went, "Oh, you know, insecure and neurotic."
Does my bum look big in this?
We were going to do one where she was on a ledge with somebody who was trying to commit suicide. And she was going, you know, "You're wondering what everybody down there's thinking." Well, they're thinking, "Does she look fat in those shoes?" And then the guy was going to jump to get away from her.
Everybody's characters work because you've got to have another twist. It's no good just having funny man. It's got to be funny man or funny woman with very strange preoccupation, you know, in weird setup, which was nice. Patrick Nice was Nick Coleman, who was talking to me about sort of middle-aged actors who said, and then I did a telly, which was nice, and I just said, I'm nicking that, mate. I'm having that catchphrase. But then he turned into a bit of an Eldridge Pryor, you know. He just lied. or did he?
And I was rummaging around in the attic, and I found the original copy of the Bible, which was nice.
There's bound to be something you'll like in it because there's so many different kind of characters, and all the characters are based from people that you could see anywhere.
Well, Ron Manager, they'll be debating that one in the pubs and clubs of Luton for some time.
Oh, yes, good first half, wasn't it? You know, a lot of intelligent running for the ball, isn't it? Marred only by the crowd disturbances, you know. Does alcohol have a part to play? It certainly does in my life, especially at Christmas and New Year.
Ron Manager is really is based on a bloke called Alex Stock. He's an old manager. He managed Luton, Fulham. I think he's at Yeovil. In fact, I was talking to someone yesterday, and he's now at Yeovil Town.
Well, it's like VE Day, isn't it? You know, I think they've got all the streets decorated. I think there's going to be a few... I think the kids are coming out for the jellies and blancmanges, and then they're sealing them off and getting the Joanna and the beer out later on.
But in his heyday, he would always answer a question with a question. So they say, and, you know, so what do you think of the first half then, Alex? He goes, "Oh, first half, isn't it? You know, ball knocked about, wasn't it? You know,
Far cry from small boys in the park, jumpers for goalposts, mortal fear of Parky. Who can blame them? Small boys in the hut.
Because it's what I used to do. Play football in the park as a small boy with jumpers for goalposts. And then we made him mad, and, you know, it's...
Like most of them.
Yes, you know, they can go off into flights of fancy then. Wasps, oh, they're frightening, aren't they? Ah, especially in the car. My wife's left me. You know, that sort of thing.
Paul's the one who's effusive and lots of ideas and lots of lines, and Charlie's the disciplined one. He goes, yeah, no, that, and structurally that will work with that. Like this, sits there, doesn't laugh, you know. Yeah, that's funny.
Paul and Charlie are like the perfect boss split in two. Because Paul's everyone's mate and Charlie's just a sort of grumpy old so-and-so.
Good cop, bad cop as well.
You've always got to be careful of the nice one. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying?
We met in 1977 in Norwich at the University of East Anglia.
1977!
Yes, we were both punk rockers.
Student punks. And we've kept this far apart ever since.
When did we first meet Paul and Charlie? You met Charlie years ago, didn't you? I met Charlie 20 years ago in Norwich, and he used to flounce about in very much. This is not what I wear normally, but this is what Charlie used to wear, and this is what I've modelled myself on. And I used to flounce about Norwich wearing clothes very similar to this. He was gorgeous then, wasn't he? Oh, he was a hunk of Norwich.
He was called Switch. Switch Higson, bless him.
What did you call yourself?
Called myself Switch. I was young.
Hey.
I had bleached hair.
I was frightened of him, you know, I was sort of 16. Charlie was 19 and lived with a girl.
I don't remember him. Just some little squid sleeping on someone's floor.
He's bald now.
Oh.
When I first met Charlie, he was a star because he was in his own group called the Higson.
Politician, bureaucrat, pyromatic, hold me back, gangway. Get out of my way. Journalists, some moralists, some businessmen and priests. Act like he was in the zoo and I saw devil's beast.
We had 3 albums and a number of singles. I don't know how you can describe that as being a frustrated pop star, so much as a pop star. Well, a minor singer in a very small, unsuccessful band.
A pop, really,
a pop
is what you
performer. No, but it's a young person's thing.
Comedy's what, an old middle-aged man's game?
Yes.
I think it is, actually, yeah.
I started writing with Paul and Charlie 87. I invented them because Charlie had sort of, the Higsons had stopped, I think, by then, and Paul, I really wanted to write with Paul.
Harry kind of encouraged me to write with him, and I employed Charlie as my armed wing so that I could pretend to be nice and I could get Charlie to do the dirty work.
I was doing Stavros, and they were far funnier. Paul was funny. I said, will you write? He said, only if Charlie does it, otherwise I won't get up in the morning.
Well, Kevin chappies, I'm feeling really frustrated this week. Really frustrated. Can you guess why? That's right. I really want to give myself one. No, stop in the mess about. I'm in a fag.
If I'd known that they get uppity when I first hired them to write for me for nothing, that they would get so big for their boots and start demanding money and then go on to be these sort of rather ludicrous cult figures, I never would have let it happen.